Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about one of the most hotly debated issues in human services, which is mandatory reporting. My research argues that mandatory reporting requirements, while originally intended to protect vulnerable people, actually end up harming the very population they're supposed to help. I'll walk you through three different scholarly perspectives on this debate, show you how each approaches the topic, and make the case for why fundamental reform is needed. Let's start with what's at stake. Mandatory reporting laws were designed to protect the most vulnerable, especially children, from abuse and neglect. But the reality is much more complicated. According to Sam Harrell and Stephanie Wahab, respected social work scholars who research was published in Advances in Social Work, these laws often do the opposite of what they intend. Their 2022 study found that many people, especially those from marginalized backgrounds, actually avoid seeking help because they're afraid of being reported. They tell a story of a homeless teen who skipped therapy for fear that disclosure would trigger a call to Child Protective Services. Instead of opening doors, the system does sometimes slam them shut. But some professionals see things differently. Dr. Geiderman and Marco, writing in JACEP Open in 2020, argue that mandatory reporting still serves an important protective role. They point out that in some cases, without legal requirement, professionals might overlook warning signs and hesitate to act. At the same time, they acknowledge the law's flaws, especially the way that sometimes force well meaning experts into making difficult judgments without enough flexibility. Their solution: shift towards a more trauma informed, more flexible reporting system that trusts professionals to use their judgment while still holding them accountable. And then there's the question of culture and bias. A 2020 study by Gila Newman and colleagues in child abuse and neglect reveals how cultural misunderstandings and personal biases shape who actually gets reported. Their research found that professionals from different backgrounds often interpret the same situation very differently sometimes, with serious consequences for families from minority communities. They argue that reform isn't just about changing laws. It's about better training, cultural competence, and awareness of system inequities. So, what do we do with all of this? These three perspectives, social work, medical and legal, and cultural, don't always agree on details, but they all see flaws in the current system. And they all point to the need for real reform that puts people, not just policies, at the center. Thank you.